Hey guys, welcome back. I think my mic might be broken. Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. I'm not sure. Streamlabs might be messing it up again. It doesn't show me that my microphone is here. Unless the stream is not working. But literally, it doesn't look like it's loading anything if it is streaming. Let me see. Try it now. Let me see. I'm not sure if, again, it's not showing anything here. Like, it almost blinked out. Let me see if anything is working now. Now I can't hear you. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, or let me see, because it shows the microphone is now on. Yay! I think you guys can hear me now. Again, it's weird. Is everything was good as soon as it went live? The mic almost cut out like on there. Okay, so we can hear me. I'm hoping it stays on. I apologize for that, guys. So like I was saying, we have the Awakened version of Baden. We have the Awakened version of Solas. Overall, there's a lot of different places that they're being utilized, and even with the brand new kind of rolled out Awakened version of Baden, he is showing up in the Cursed Realm. We've actually seen him in a couple different comps where he's, guys, even right there pulling 8.1 billion damage in the best in slot. So this team, of course, I believe this used to be the Kren team. Changing it up a little bit, it seems like Baden is starting to find his place. We talked about once he came out, guys, give it a couple days, see exactly where he is making it. We knew when it came to the Cursed Realm, when it came to the Twisted Realm, when it came to a lot of different game modes, we knew he was going to be really strong. Now, one thing a lot of players are saying is, as you can see here, he is not running with Nevanthi, which is what we usually see. And also when it comes to Alna Grez, it seems like a lot of players, high chapters, talking, 45, 50, 50 plus, are running the Awakened version of Baden within the campaign and actually dropping out the Alna Grez. So Grez is actually being replaced in some of the campaign formations with the Awakened version of Baden. Now, is that going to be enough to build him? And that is, again, kind of where I'm on the fence. I know you guys have said building the Awakened version of Solas. So the Awakened version of Solas, and I kind of want to cover where we're seeing her as well, guys. She has been in pretty much every single Cursed Realm comp. We're seeing her in Twisted Realm comps. We're also seeing her right there. She is, guys. We're seeing her in almost every Twisted Realm comp that there is, including the Burning Brute. We've seen her in the Grotesque Mage. We're also seeing her in every Cursed Realm comp formation. So we're seeing her utility going super high, which is the reason why a lot of players have actually went to build out. Wait, there's Nevanthi. So Nevi is in there, but the Awakened version of Solas, guys, right there, 2.18 billion damage, almost doing the amount of damage that we see with Raku, which again is pretty interesting to see. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, Trisha. That's where I'm kind of on the fence. Is probably going with the Awakened version of Solas and then borrowing Baden. Because the big thing is, guys, remember, there are a lot of game modes where you cannot use the borrowed version. Now, most likely, like when you get into the Temporal Rift, you cannot borrow the heroes. So I can't actually use the borrow heroes in here. So I have no option to borrow or utilize the Awakened version of Solas. You can see I have her right there at legendary because I only have 2 copies at this point. But again, you can't use her in a couple different game modes. You can't use a merked version in a few different game modes, which is the reason, again, I was leaning a little bit towards the Awakened version of Solas and building her out a lot further. What's going on, Alfred Us? Daniel's here, Trish is here, Cool Penguin. Got a lot of people already joining us for the stream. Again, not sure exactly what's going on with the mics. I'm gonna have to look at that later. Streamlabs has been having a lot of issues as of lately. Even uninstalled it, reinstalled it, reset up everything. That's why it looks a little bit different. But overall, guys, Streamlabs, I don't know what's going on with it with the live streams, but we'll definitely figure it out. So yeah, and that's what a lot of people have kind of said is they were really hoping and kind of fingers crossed that the Awakened version of Baden would be better. Unfortunately, we're seeing him in some comps, but it's not to the point of the broken Awakened Brutus. So, you know, as it seems, kind of going back and forth, it seems like that Brutus is still going to retain his title as kind of the first Awakened hero to build. So early game, mid game, getting one single copy of the Awakened version of Solas, I would highly advise, guys. Again, with the few game modes that you cannot merc this hero, even having a lesser version like what we see right here does work well. I tried a couple different formations, even the formations without utilizing Solas, and it worked a lot better with her, even just at Legendary within those game modes, which is pretty interesting. I mean, when you start getting beacons behind her, when you start getting badges behind her, works incredibly well within those formations, which is, again, the reason why I'm kind of leaning towards her. And we're probably not going to build up Baden at this point, but the Awakened version of Solas, I'm going to go for. Now, we already do have the Awakened version of Thane built. We have the Awakened version of Brutus with 3 stars already. So building out this one. Now, I do not have the copy of the Awakened version of Taylene. I did not build out Taylene, but I did build out Aziz, guys. Do not build out Aziz. This was probably one of the worst choices, was building him out instead of the Awakened version of Taylene, which I would love to have because of the Twisted Realm and a couple other things, but he was just an absolute bust. Can Baden work with 1 copy? The big thing, Trisha, is if you just run him with 1 copy, it works okay, but it doesn't bring the damage. So with him being a Ranger class, with him being a Warrior, yeah, I would say Mythic Plus, because not only are you going to be missing a majority of the stats, but you're also going to be missing a majority of the abilities, which, again, I don't think the viability is going to be there if you don't have the stats and the abilities behind him. I don't think it's going to work. I think he's going to die out too quick. I can tell you 1 copy ain't doing anything. Yeah, and that's what I think. I think overall, guys, if you get 1 copy of Baden, support heroes can work with 1 copy. Damage dealers such as Baden is not really going to do anything. I really don't think it's going to do anything. Even when we were kind of testing him, it was somewhat of a struggle to get to keep him alive. To keep him alive, the viability, again, it seems like it's a pretty specific formation that he's going to be is going to be working. But overall, guys, again, what's going on? And I always forget how to pronounce your name. I know it's not Chatty. I know you always put it in there for the pronunciation. I apologize, guys. Names I am horrible at. But as we know, guys, this is the pay-to-win account. I am going to put some into this tonight, well above where we have been with our purchases. So if you're looking to build out these Awakened heroes, guys, the best one, and again, talking to a lot of guildies that do a lot of put a lot more in here, is this pack is pretty solid when it comes to getting 120 time emblems, getting 120 Stargazer scrolls. So I am going to pick this up. You know, we have been budgeting kind of month to month. I put a pretty decent amount in there for a card, and there we go. With Shady, rhymes with Shady, so there we go. Yeah, and that's it. So there we go. 120 cards right there, guys. So if we're looking for or building out the Awakened version of Solas, that is going to give us a lot more cards in there. Now, second place, guys, is Yuri's ship. So this one is pretty good. It does have a pretty big RNG factor with these wish tokens in here. But I'm going to see if we can get lucky with these wish tokens. So I'm going to actually buy 2 of these guys. again, we put everything for November in here, which is good. I saw an AE screenshot where Legendary Baden worked really well. It'll work, Dave, on the boss, but you're not going to get the damage out of it. It as a solo unit, it'll work well on the boss. Again, as a solo unit, he will work well on the boss because you have an absolute stacked relics behind it. But there's a lot of outside of there, I don't see it really working very well. Oof, just certainly casually summon him in the background. Yeah, that's my thought, Trisha. I know there's a new Mauler coming. If you've seen what Dolly has been talking about, so the consensus overall is getting Solas, Shady. We are going to go ahead and we're going to get the Awakened version of Solas. I'm hoping that we can get lucky with some of our draws here with our Dream Wishes. Let's see what we get, guys. So look at that. 5 scrolls is all you get. That one, you get 5 chests. This is the reason why a lot of players do not put anything in here. But if you do get first and you get some cards out of here, it's a pretty decent bonus. But unfortunately, we don't get much. I also did want to pick up this Alpinus pack. This one actually just come up to pick or to get some more diamonds out of here because we have to get Nevanthi. I want to build out Nevanthi as well. While we have her here, we need 3, I think in totality. It is 3 more copies and she will be up to that ascended level. But it is going to be Solas, guys. Yeah, again, Baden seems decent if you're putting a lot into him, if you're getting him built. But that is to get him decent. I feel like I can merc a copy of him, even merking just off my Graveborn account. And it's going to fill a majority of the slots that we're using or we're seeing him actually played in, which is the reason, again, we're going to go with that version. Was that? Oh, it gave me another pack. I was wondering what was going on there. So overall, guys, if you look, we pulled all of our cards out of the tower. So we have 227 Stargazer cards, the ones that we just purchased. But we also have 369 time emblems, including the ones we just purchased. So we're going to do some summons for the Awakened version of Solas. I'm going to save the Stargazers to add stars on her when we build her. Yeah, those packs, guys, if you are a light spender within AFK Arena, these packs, the Alpinus packs, are the best deal. The Alpinus packs, the Climbers packs, the Adventurers pack, whatever the $20 for 45,000 diamonds is really, really good. It is probably the best purchase within AFK Arena. How is he doing on the Graveborn account? He does decent overall, but again, I'm noticing that he dies a little bit fast. It seems like if you have him built up again, there's going to be places for him to be used, but is he going to be a game changer where there's nobody to sub in there? Even looking at the damage that he is doing within the Cursed Realm, building a new formation and putting the Awakened version of Baden and building him out versus the team we already had in there, is it going to make a huge difference in damage? It's not making a night and day difference. The damage is a little bit higher, but pretty similar to the teams that we have seen in there. Is Thane still the consensus Awakened to go for? Honestly, Jared, I would go with the Awakened version of Brutus. You guys, I am still in for Brutus, just again, his utility, the places that we're seeing him used. I would go for the Awakened version of Brutus. Absolutely. And I 100% agree with you, Alfredos. He needs a lot of crowd control. We've seen him run with Pharrell in there. If you do not run him with a lot of crowd control or a lot of support, the Awakened version of Baden dies very fast. He will get burned down pretty quick, which is what we're seeing. Campaign stages, level deficiencies means it's not really going to work very well. Again, of course, he's going to work in a few niche places, but overall, I would go with the Awakened version of Brutus. Yep, Brutus I would go with. The big thing with Thane, guys, is there's, short of PvP and probably the tower, there is not an incredibly high demand for building out the Awakened version of Thane. Just for the simple fact that his build requires you kind of PvP to kill the enemy. Even going through, and why he works incredibly well in the Abyssal Expedition is you're putting relics behind him. He can kill the enemy targets pretty quick. But in the game modes where you do not kill the targets, like a Cursed Realm, where the damage just stacks, we don't find his viability in there. Even the regular version of a fully built Thane is doing more damage than the Awakened version of a fully built Thane. Within the Cursed Realm, if you look at where he is used, very, very minimal outside of like the Treasure Scramble or PvP in general is where he's using. Yes, and that's it. Just lyrics. Awakened Solas is used a ton. Absolutely used a ton. I've got Baden built to Ascended, but I'm going to go ahead and build after Woodus. I love the names, Dave. That's so funny. Yeah, Solas, again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to see what we can do, guys. Building out the Awakened version of Solas. We're going to do our summons here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, guys, we can get some good luck with some of these cards and some of these pulls. If not, I hope, again, that it's not going to be another issue that we had with the Awakened version of Thane, guys. It took me 700 plus cards to pull him, which was just absolutely insane with the amount of cards we had to use to pull him, but we got it done eventually, so it is going to just take a little bit of time. His Lightbearer PvPT, yes, absolutely. Awakened Thane on the Lightbearer team is super, super strong, guys, and I do want to continue pulling. We need to get some furniture summons in here. So first one, guys, we just get 2 more fodders, which is okay, because I definitely wanted to, again, do some summons. We have Nevi. We need 3 copies of Nevanthi, and we will have her built, guys. So let's hop over. We'll do some quick summons. Maybe pull an Awakened hero out of here, or maybe a copy of Alero. Not really doing much with Alero nowadays. So a couple scrolls here. Again, another elite, which is Thisu. Both of those I need. Both of those I do not have. And look at that. Another copy, which is Fane. Guys, all 3 right there. All 3 right there. We just got all 3 that we do not have built up to 5 stars. I have Solas and Taylene. I am able to push very high in the Rift with them both. Yeah, I've definitely noticed that, Shady, is with Solas in the Rift, guys, she is absolutely broken. A lot of players have been running her. I'm going to do a Rift video a little bit later to come out tomorrow. I pushed quite a bit in the Rift, made it through about 27 floors today. So I'm almost a 400 in the Rift, which there's a copy of Respin. Respin is already built out. And then here, I think we still need, Wilders. So I am just going to swap this to Wilders. Even though we don't have too many cards, I'm not too worried about it, because if I can get 1 copy of Nevanthi, which there we go, guys, that only leaves 2 left to finish her out to Ascended, which is where we want to build her. Right now, I'm not going to race her because of the engraving aspect. The engraving aspect, I'm going to wait just for the simple fact that I don't have the mats. I don't have the mats to build out Nevanthi with the engraving, especially because I'm saving for that Awakened version of Solas. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, guys, but 3,000 diamonds. We need 2 single copies. And there we go. First pull. That's what we want for the streaming luck. Look at that. That is what we want for the streaming luck, guys. First pull gave us 2 copies. That is what we needed. Hey, man, I've been playing for some time, but I feel like I'm behind. What should I do? Any tips to do? Depends where you're at, Destiny. Really depends where your account's at, where the build is at. Tips, level up your heroes, guys. The biggest driving factor in your progression in AFK Arena is levels. That's the reason why we went right back into the power leveling. And there we go, guys. Very nice with the pulls on there to get her all the way to Ascended already. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, pulling out those copies, but that does give us our little avatar frame. So I'm going to put that one in here. I love Hodgkin with his little glowing green eye. Let's see, where is she at? There she is. So there's Nevanthi. We have our season 7 frame right up there. So pretty cool. That was very nice. I'm on chapter 33 and don't have a 3rd team to use. Destiny, let me know who you're using. Yeah, that's too. Just what Shady said, guys. If you join the Discord, there's a couple hundred players on there. I know we don't get that many in streams, but there's a lot of players on there that will absolutely give you advice on literally anything that you need to know. They're super, super helpful over there. But again, if you have questions, it's hard to see and it's hard to make formations because I don't know what you have. That's kind of the hard part to build a 3rd team or a viable 3rd team. We cannot see what you got. Is getting 5 copies of Ascended Baden from 220 time temple cards a good rate? Yeah, that's pretty good. So guys, the average here is 65. That is kind of the magic number. 65 is the pity timer. Essentially, that's where they found kind of the pity timer at, is if you pull 6 pulls and then 6.5 pulls, so 65 total cards used, you should get at least 1 single copy, which is kind of, again, the pity timer. A lot of players have said they've went, 70 cards, 80 cards, 90 cards. I've never seen it, guys. I have 8 different accounts that I summoned on. I haven't seen it go that far, that deep, 90 cards plus, that you have not seen 1 single copy of a hero, which is kind of crazy. I've reached 410 in the Rift as free to play with only Legendary Solas and Legendary Cheerling. Brutus would at least help you in TS. Yeah, and it could even bump you up. Definitely MZ. AFK Helper, yes. AFK Helper is huge. Again, it's hard to tell without knowing what heroes you have. All right, guys, this is time for the luck. Trying to make progression in Chapter 31. Who should I swap? Scroll on. Iran with the Tornado or Iran with the Teleport? Absolutely Tornado. Iran, the original one is the 5 pull. Epilox. The 5 pull is a meta comp for a lot of places. So let's see. 369 cards, guys. Let's see what kind of damage we can do here with Solas. I'm hoping we can get at least quite a few copies. And maybe some diamonds out of here. I would love to see some diamonds. But overall, guys, resource is always good. The cards are always good. And I think last time we pulled a double when we pulled her. There we go, guys. There is one single copy. So 3, that gives us enough for Legendary Plus. So we need 3 more for Mythic. We got to get some luck. I want to see some back-to-backs. Maybe a double or a triple would be awesome to see. And I wish it showed the same with the diamonds. A lot of players kind of miss the diamonds here. There's double cards. There we go, guys. There is another copy. So we need 2. We need 2. Close to Ascending Awakened Brutus, and I need 2 more copies. You need 11 copies of her. Yes, I need a lot, MZ. I need a lot of copies of her. We only had 2. Literally, we only had 2. But I'm also thinking, guys, because I do run her within the Temple Rift and a couple other game modes, even getting her to Mythic is going to be a good, big game changer. Honestly, with building her out, it's going to be nice. It is going to be very, very nice having her built. If we can get any copies of her. As we're burning through a lot of cards here. And there we go. There's another copy. Is it just another single? We need 1 more to Mythic. 1 more. After sending all regular heroes, what's the next goal? Stargazing for Celestials or Hypogens, I'm assuming. Coming to the point where I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to keep. Yes, Chapter 41. Absolutely. You start stargazing. Usually once you get like 3 or 4 of your Ascended heroes, that's kind of the point you start stargazing to pick up some of the more rare heroes like the Lucretia, the Alna, even the Dimensionals, which there we go, guys. There's another copy. Boom. That should be enough for Mythic. 149 cards left. We went through a lot. But you know what? We got the copies that we were looking for. There's Legendary. There is Legendary Plus, which takes her to Mythic. So that unlocks the signature item, guys. We still need 6 copies, which I don't see it happening unless we're absolute insane with the pulls. Yeah, Thane, Shady. Thane was just horrible. Thane was the worst I've ever pulled. Absolutely. I used 680 time emblem cards to get 12 copies of Awakened Baden. Then 150 Stargazer. I got 7 copies. Wow. Yes, absolutely offered us. That's a lot of Stargazer, or a lot of time emblems. 680 for 12 copies. Yeah, that's a lot. We need, what, 6 more 149. I don't see this happening. It would be kind of insane if it did, though. But anything that we can get closer, guys. Remember, we get time emblems. We get 2 a day, which there's another copy. Just a single, but that is 1 closer, guys. We needed 6. Now we need 5. Just finished Thane. Got Brutus and Solas done quick. Love my luck in this, but unfortunately not carrying over for... Oh, Miles is missing out on some Baden. It seems like there's always one, guys. This account, it was Thane. Thane was the absolute nightmare to pull when I got here. Thane was just a monster to pull, guys. We put so many cards into him. And there we go, guys. There's another copy. Just another single, though. We need one more. Will be Mythic Plus, which, again, is going to be a game changer. What's going on? Ymir, the Tainted Mage. Been too long. Hope all is well. Yep, I'm doing great, guys. Loving doing the stream. It's such a very, very cool opportunity to talk to you guys. Try to Awaken Baden with Nevanthi. It's really good to push campaign together with Grez. What's your level deficiency looking up for pushing the Awakened version of Baden? I'm just wondering how far that's going to work. And look at that, guys. Another copy. Boom! There we go. Another one. That means we need 2? I think we need 2. We have 49. Is that it? Is that what we need? I think we might need 3 more. Might be 3 more. There we go. So we have her right there. I think 3 more. Yep, we need 3 more, guys. We're going to get close. If I could pull 1 more, I'd be happy. Yeah, 3 more. 3 more, Geeky. Hey, what's going on, Geeky? Yeah, I know. 49, because I can't use diamonds. That's what I hate, guys. But again, 3 more copies. Could we get pretty close? Or are we not going to see any more? Nope, I think that is it, guys. What do we got? 9 left. See if we can get 1 more out of here. Might just have to wait to get a couple more of these. Because again, guys, because we get the deluxe monthly card, we do get 2 cards every day. So we do pick up 2 cards every day. The final summon, could it be just some more resources? So Stargazers, guys, I think I'm going to... See, we have 226, 61,000. Should we save them for Solas? What do we think? Should we save them for Solas or should we finish out Brutus? Brutus, we need 5 copies. We need 5 copies and Brutus would be 5 stars. Or should we save them for Solas? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. I have Shamira, Lucius, Damon, and Rowan and Taline for Team 1. Team 2, I have Brutus, Tassi, Iran, Pharrell, and Sophia. Not good, but I have Oden and Leica, Arthur. Oh, spend another. I don't have another 100. I don't have another 100 on here. We're down to. I don't even. It might tell me. Yeah, if we go down, let's see some of these smaller packs. I think it'll tell me what we have. We have $47. That's all we have. We have 47 bucks. I think we can do a smaller pack. $24.99. There we go. Spend and save. Save them for Solas. That's what I was thinking. You also get another 20 time emblems in the Baden events. Yeah, we haven't got there yet. Save for Solas. So we got $24.99, guys. That'll get us 40 cards. But that is all we got. That's all we got. What's going on, Don Bobby? Thank you for joining us. That is the team good for chapter 33. So, I mean, Lucius and Shamira are really old school Destiny. 40 more cards, guys. We might be able to pull 1 more copy. A lot of, you're going to have to look at the meta heroes, see who you have, who you're building, especially where you're at. To be in chapter 33, you start getting to the multiple teams. You're going to have to, like I said, Shamira, Lucius, not really use that much. And then Tassi, Iran, Pharrell, Sophia. I don't know if you've stargazed for anyone. Do you have any Celestials or Dimensional heroes in there? What would be the next question? Yeah, save for Solas. That's what I'm thinking. All right, 267 though. We got a lot more in there, but 40 more cards, guys. Let's see. We need 3 copies. I'd be shocked if we did it, but there we go, guys. There's 1. We need 2 more. We have 30 cards with 2 copies. Again, that would be kind of crazy to get it. Yeah, 2 more copies, 30 cards. Could we do it? If we got a double, it would be crazy. It'd be absolutely crazy, guys. And our final pull here looks like is not another copy, but we're 30 cards closer, guys. I'm stoked to be 30 cards close. We're 2. What's going on, Childo? We're 2 copies away, but that's all of our cards. At least 40 Solas out of those 40 of them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. At least 1. We need 2 more. But we are out of funds for the month, guys. I wanted to hop on. I wanted to see if we could build them up, if we could get enough copies. But we are 2 single copies for her being awakened, which I'm okay with. I'm definitely okay with that. As we add another level here on the tree, guys, it is the continued progression through here. So now when we have all the faction awakened heroes, who is the most valuable? I would go with the awakened version of Brutus. Brutus is the viability, the utility that Brutus has out of all of the heroes, guys. Brutus is in a lot of places. Brutus has made and kind of keeps his place. Like I said, Brutus would be my choice. I think Brutus, the awakened version of Brutus, definitely. Guys, do you think you could only pick one dimensional? Which should I put? Yennefer. I would absolutely, Los Grandes, Yennefer would be the choice because Yennefer is crowd control. Geralt hasn't really seen much outside of PvP, and these towers need to get bigger, guys. I have, I believe, all light bearers here, and we have no more floors. We need a lot more room in these towers. I think they're pretty much packed. So adding her to the third, but it is the Wilder Tower there. There we go. To the third floor, we'll go ahead and we'll just build this out. We're going to sit on the rest of our diamonds for now because we have her built, which means our furniture, got to do some summons, guys. And we've already gotten how much? 59,000 furniture, which is awesome. Yeah, if you only had to choose one, I would go with Yennefer. What is the most effective investment for Thorin? Are you talking about the Graveborn Childo? Are you talking about Torn or Thorin? I think Thorin. So Thorin's optimal investment, guys, if you're building out Thorin, is 309. 309 with no engraving is the optimal investment for Thorin. If you're looking at Torn you got to build out. I'm a little disappointed of the Witcher collab. Both heroes, yes, Alfredus. Now, I 100% agree with you on that one. The Witcher collab didn't really seem to take off very well. And overall, most players, including myself, I am a huge fan of The Witcher, guys. If you have checked it out on Netflix, it is such a very cool series. He's not anywhere short of PvP. That is really it. And even in PvP, he's pretty limited to where he is. Yennefer, we've seen in a couple different formations, but overall, pretty disappointed with the collaboration that they did overall. I really think it's worth the E11 on Thorin. It can be, Dave. It can be worth doing the E11. It might cut down on a couple of tries for using it. Is it anything that's kind of required? Not really. You can put it on there again. If you're early engraving, I wouldn't do it just because, again, you have the auto retries. You can just run Thorin for hours, days, whatever it may be. SI furniture engraving for, let me know. Are you talking about, I think he's talking about Torn. So Torn, which is this guy, because they can't think of any other names. Torn, you want to build out as high as possible. The big thing with Torn, guys, is he has to live. So he is used within the cursed realm to really maximize the damage. If you build him out with the furniture, if you build him out, the engraving, a little bit of more skill damage in there, but overall, guys, it is his ultimate ability. Dragging the heroes around here are the reason why he does so much damage. But again, it depends on, I built him out because, again, earlier game, he doesn't live. That's really the big thing. Yeah, I know. I heard that. Chavo, I was super disappointed that he quit the Witcher series. And I know they said they got a new guy. I don't even know if I'm going to watch it if they bring it back. Yeah, I'm pretty pretty disappointed with how they did the collaboration and how they did it for The Witcher. I wish it would have been better, guys. All right, so wish list. Let's see. So we're not putting Baden in here, but we are putting Solas in here. There's the Awakened version of Solas. I'm gonna try to finish out Brutus. We need 2 more copies, guys, and I will finish out Brutus. Or if we finish out some of these other heroes, let's see, because I want to swap in Nevanthi in here again, just because of the viability of using her. And she is used in a couple different places. I'm hoping that we can get lucky, guys, with a piece of furniture, which there is Thorin. I believe that will take him to the 9 of 9. There's the 9 of 9 for Thorin. So we can drop him out, and then I can drop in. We have Geralt in there, but we want to drop in Nevanthi. And we still have Yennefer. So we have both of them in there. We need 1 for Joan, and she'll be done. 2 for Brutus, they'll be done. And then, of course, Solas. We have a lot. We have a lot going on. Yeah, and that's what I think. I know if you read a script and it's not too good, they'll just it kind of sucks. Finish the Awakened Brutus. Yes, definitely the Awakened Brutus furniture. When we get our 2 red cards, guys, that's what I'm going to build first. I'm hoping that we can pull, which there's a copy of Kayleen. What was Kayleen at? I think Kayleen's pretty close too. So at 7 right now. 7 already. Let's see. There is 1 for Nevi. Want to see 2 for Brutus. There's 1 for Brutus, guys. We need 1, and we need 1 for Joan. But I think we have a red card already on there. So let's see. There's Yennefer. So let me add these in. Boom. There we go. Put Iran in there. Put Orin in there. Let's use this one for Brutus. I can put him in there. I don't use him for anything. Literally, there's a lot of heroes here that I have built that I have never used. That I have built that I have never used. That I have literally never used, which is kind of crazy, but I still have them ascended. I have a little bit of furniture or signature items on them. So there we go, guys. Brutus is built. Short of adding the stars on him, guys, we have the 9 furniture. We have the plus 35 signature item. We have the plus 60 engraving, so he is good. Who did we have? So we could finish that off. But we could also put Orin in there. I know Oku as well. We don't have any furniture, but let's put Orin in here, and we'll see. No point to adapt a book if you don't like the lore and want to change. Yeah, I know a lot of TV shows, and it's weird, like with Netflix. I know Netflix has done it with quite a bit, where they kind of swap a lot, or they change a lot of the storyline. And then, of course, the biggest miss, of course, was season 8 of Game of Thrones, but we won't get into that. What's going on, Crave? Thank you for joining us tonight. The 24,000 furniture left, guys. There is Joan. So that gives us the 9 of 9 for Joan. We're making a lot of solid progression in here, guys, which is awesome. I needed to get some of these heroes built out, which, again, we use Albedo all the time. I think I'm going to build out the rest of her furniture. Who else do we got? We got Mortis in there. We got Wukong in there. We already got Solas in there. I think we have just about everybody we can put. See, we built Baden early. I'm gonna put Thorin in there just because, or not Thorin. I draw a blank on his name all the time. Let's see. Got a couple Wilders in there. I think even here, see, we have Brutus we built out. We have Anasta built out. I think we have most of them built. And of course, some light bears. We could definitely build some out. Oh, did it? What do you mean to use both furniture cards? I think you have an extra one. No. Oh, yeah, it might have lagged. I just had the one. I had that one furniture card, but there we go. We got it set on the wish list. Oh, yeah. Is Halo in the Percy Jackson movies? Tresnar, that's it. Thank you, Shady. Yeah, Tresnar is, I just built Tarnos. Yeah, I thought about him, Trisha. So a lot of players are building out Tarnos. And I know he's pretty fun in a lot of PvP. I know he's super, super solid in PvP, which is where they're seeing him. Yeah, Taylor the 9 of 9. Again, she's another hero that I don't really use. I don't, which there we go, guys. There's an Awakened version of Solas. I don't really use her, just like Orin. I don't really use her in many places. If we get some of these other heroes kind of built out, I can continue to swap them out. Audrey I want to build out, of course, because of the damage that we're getting within the Celestial Tower. So there's another piece for Geralt. Just going to take a couple more weeks and Lilith not to come out with so many heroes that we can actually get all of this set. Got a couple more stars, or a couple more pieces of furniture across the board. Then do we have anyone 8 of 8, which we don't? I'm going to save the furniture. Again, I'm saving this because the Awakened version of Solas. So I'm going to save the furniture. That way, when we do get her up to that ascended level, we can just build her out. Is what I'm hoping, that we can just build them up. What's going on? Alejandro? Just remember Grezin Tresnar's name. Yeah, a lot of them, they put... the names are so similar that, like Orin and Iran, these two really just throw me for a loop every time I see them, just because they're literally so close in the pronunciation that how I pronounce them, it's kind of crazy. Orin is great in the Alna Lucy, the Graveborn team. Yeah, because he goes straight over. How's he working the Evade team? Yeah, no longer Graveborns at that point. Yep. Is Baden worth getting or not? Right now, Amir, I would say no. If you already have everyone else built, I would. I mean, it seems like he's going to be niche in a couple different places. Is he going to be a priority? I would say not as much as we wanted to see him. And, you know, he's not performing as well as players had hoped with it being the Graveborn. Again, he's used some places, but is he easily replaceable? As of right now, yeah. Haley 909, I heard. Oh, put in Rain. I think Rain. Rain's already at 3 of 9. Rain's still kind of where she needs to be, but I'm going to go ahead and build this out. Itis and Celestial Tank. I heard Lords at 9 of 9 is good. Yeah, PvP. I don't do. I don't do PvP, guys. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, I really don't PvP at all. We're going to take this to a plus 30 because we can. This is going to help a ton, guys. When she receives fatal damage, the current weakest water spirit will sacrifice itself, which means she will not die. Now, unlocking, of course, all of this with that signature item, which is awesome. And then again, we're saving the engraving mats for her as well. Yes, absolutely, Jonathan. I went with Solas. I was kind of on the fence with both of them. Solas, the utility she has, Temporal Rift, Cursed Realm, a lot of different places. Yes. Let him make his account. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of different heroes, guys. A lot of different heroes and a lot of different players that build different heroes. Alna, Ascended Baden, Oden, Nevanthi, and Pharrell. Yeah, that would definitely work well. But again, and the thing that I look at is can you kind of change, if you drop the Awakened Baden out of there, or the Awakened version of Baden, and let's say you put Grez in that formation, is it going to work well? Absolutely, guys, that works well. Any tips for a free-to-play player? Free-to-play, honestly, the easiest way to make progression, one team, carry Damon, second team, build Lucretia. Lucretia will solo teams by herself. Also, the Ainz Albedo combination, they can carry as well. That can be your three kind of teams within there. Now, honestly, the biggest tip to go through here is do everything. Do everything that you have in here, every single Wandering Balloon, every single thing. As you make progression as a free-to-play player, guys, you have to really do everything as much as possible, as progression as much as possible. King's Tower, especially free-to-play, this is going to be just an absolute gold mine for players. For free-to-play, like I said, 100%, especially free-to-play players, this is where you farm all of your cards. This is where you farm your Stargazer cards. This is where you farm your time emblems. making progression in here, the more and the faster that you can make progression, the better you're going to do. The better, the faster you're going to progress, but the further you're going to be able to push your account. I mean, we have a power level account that's 2 weeks old, guys. We are right at chapter 22 right now after 2 weeks. Damon is not carrying as much as we would like. There we go. There's another copy of Fane, but we are still doing very well. There's a Laro again. Gonna have a couple more heroes that I can drop some more stars on, so we can actually just finish the rest of these out, is what I'm hoping. We almost have them all built, and I believe that's going to add us another level as well. Look at that, guys. 645. Still continuing with the levels, with the power level. We're at 31 billion power as of now, which is phenomenal. That is absolutely awesome to see. Add a lot more food in there. We'll add our second star. Of course, on here, Fane is going to 4 stars. So almost everyone built out, guys. We're on a pretty short list with the heroes that we still have in here, which is cool. I mean, positive is that if you ever get to chapter 50 plus and want to swap Grez for Baden, at least the whole comp is agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I've built a Baden. So far, he works best in teams that stun lock enemies. Yes, Hedgehog. That's exactly what it is, guys. If you do not have heavy crowd control within the teams, Baden's not going to work. You have to have Oden in there, or you have to have Pharrell in there. You have to have quite a bit of crowd control to be able to get the team to work effectively, is what we're seeing. What's going on, Carol? Thank you for joining us tonight. Once the dimensional character event has passed, we no longer be able to get them like Ein's ever return. So the thing is with a lot of the characters that are not specifically owned by Lilith, they're under contract, and they're under contract for a certain amount of time. Now you can still get all of the heroes through the garrison. So you can actually borrow the heroes here through the garrison. These are the heroes that were essentially contracted from other games. So you can still get them. And once you borrow them 6 times, you do get them forever. Or you have to reborrow them every month, which is just an absolute pain in the butt. But you reborrow them for free. So you can still get them. There's nobody that is exclusive that you cannot themselves, which of course I'm not going to have them in here because I built them all. But there is a couple in here. I believe Arthur's here. I think Joan is here. There's a couple down here too that you can get that, again, Lilith owns the dimensional hero, which is the reason why you can pick them up, is because they're actually owned by Lilith. Just climbed 20 Greyborn stages today, pretty much the biggest level of efficiency there is on my floors. Baden just let me bypass Thorin cheese floors. Yeah, Baden, again, guys, if you're building out Baden, there's going to be places he's going to work. There's always going to be. They're not going to make an Awakened hero that has absolutely zero utility everywhere. He's going to work different places with the Awakened version of Baden, but can he be replaced easy? Is he really the biggest hero that is required to be in these formations? For a lot of players, probably not. Hello there, I'm currently on the fence. Should I build Awakened Brutus or Baden? I would go Brutus. Like I've said before, guys, I would go for Brutus. He would be my choice to build, again, as an Awakened hero. Brutus would be my choice as of right now. Looking where the Awakened version of Baden is kind of at, we know Brutus is solid. We know he's in a lot of different aspects, a lot of different team comps. I even run him in the Abyssal Expedition right now. I run him in the Temporal Rift right now, running Warriors. There's a lot of places where I'm using him. Oh, the fact that you're already 22. Yeah, 22 chapters in 2 weeks, guys. We're doing pretty good there. We still haven't used our resources. So we have literally, we're still sitting on all of those resources. I really like Theowen. She is great at PvP and does good on bosses. Not optimal. Yes, Childo. So Theowen is very niche, and the big reason is she becomes untargetable. So she is a hero that has a unique ability. She actually becomes untargetable. When she's doing damage, you stack relics behind it. That's why she excels on the Abyssal Expedition, is because of what you can stack behind her. What's going on, Flips? Any thoughts on Baden? Baden, Chris, overall is going to be niche. He's going to find a place, again, in Cursed Realm formations, a couple different places. You're going to find that he's used. Again, is he going to be the best in slot? For some, yes. But the difference between, let's say, Team 1 best in slot and Team 2 is not really a night and day difference. And we're kind of seeing that comparing what we're seeing as of right now within the Cursed Realm and what we're seeing within the older Cursed Realm. So even with this first team, guys, because it is the best in slot, you'll notice too is you have to have Yennefer. And you have to have Yennefer built as well as the Awakened version of Baden. So both of them you're going to have to build to get this slot. And again, with the other team, this was actually, I believe, the Kren team that was in here. Is this doing, night and day difference compared to the team that was in here? Nope. Pretty similar overall. See you later, Destiny. Hop over in Discord. Like we said before, Destiny, if you have specific questions, team comps, things of that nature, there's a couple hundred people over on Discord that you can absolutely go over there and drop some questions. That will definitely work. I feel Awakened Baden can scale well with Yennefer. Yeah, like I said, in here, guys, it works well within the combinations. And you'll see that once you get them locked into the back, so of course, right here, Abaden will just continue to teleport people on top of each other, and then you can get everyone right here to the back. Yennefer pushes them to the back. This creates the crowd control aspect. Even if you dropped out Yennefer and you put Kren in here, going to be very similar damage. And I don't know if Kren can actually out damage this, but you can see, guys, literally just locking everything in the back, like what we've seen with Kren. Very, very similar setup to, again, what we've seen within our regular formations. And I haven't done this. I don't think I've done this one yet. So the formation that we had here originally was, which I don't think this was the formation. Might have been. I'm not even sure last time I updated this. I'm going to have to look at this, guys. The Cursed Realm comps, I go over to Cursed Friends. We pull all of the comps that we're utilizing on there and really go through making some progression. So Solas is still the strongest Awakened hero. I wouldn't say the strongest. Honestly, so Solas is, as an Awakened hero, she is very, very strong just because of the healing support damage aspect that she brings. So not only does she have a considerable amount of healing, she also does have a considerable amount of damage when you build her out. Now, Carol, if you have one copy, it works incredibly well, even just having one single copy of her. And again, building her out, you're going to increase survivability. You're going to be able to do more damage with her. But again, my priority out of every Awakened hero we have would be Brutus. Brutus would be, again, the build. If you're building out Solas, you can't go wrong. Honestly, you cannot go wrong whatsoever with building out Solas. Again, when you look at Twisted Realm, she is used in almost every single comp. When you look at the Cursed Realm, she is at least in one team. When you look at the Temporal Rift, she is utilized. When you look at the Temporal Rift boss, she is utilized. When you look at PvP, when you look at Treasure Scramble, she is utilized in comps. You can't go wrong with building her, Pixel Foxy, because she is such a very, very strong, well-built hero. Not sure if it's been answered yet, but how well does Awakened Baden work with a single copy? So single copy is not effective. Single copy, unfortunately, because you need the stats, you also need the abilities unlocked. If you have a single copy of the Awakened version of Baden, you're missing 90% of the toolkit. Now, he does have to be built out, again, to unlock all of the abilities that he possesses. Also building the stats in there. Absolutely, guys, you have to build him out. In your opinion, who's the best crowd controllers in the game? Crowd control, there's a couple. When you look at the crowd control aspect, I still like heroes like Abaden. I know he does disintegration, but crowd control, Pharrell, original old school Pharrell does great with crowd control. Even Mahira does awesome with crowd control. Tassie does well with crowd control. There's a lot. Mishka does a lot of crowd control. Couple that with Raku, which gets a amplification with crowd control. Leonardo does a lot of crowd control. There's a ton of heroes that do an incredible amount of crowd control. Yeah, I went Solas first. That's my choice. Versus the Awakened version of Baden. Again, Solas is used in so many game modes, guys. Even looking again at the Temporal Rift, looking at the hunting fields or the Grand Hunt, Solas is used a ton. Solas is used just about every single place. There's Nevanthi, which we just built. There are so many places right there she is utilized that we're not seeing Baden in some formations. And again, with her support, with her healing ability, yep, I went with Solas, the Awakened version of Solas. Single copy of Solas has been, yes, and that's it, Pixel Foxy. A single copy of Solas, that's why I've said pull one single copy of the Awakened version of Solas, then swap over to build Brutus. That would be my choice if you're looking at building out a hero. Now that they've all been released, I would go with Brutus in there. Nevanthi's energy boost is like Rowan. Yeah, we built her out as well, which again, Solas, we got to a 30. Her, we're going to continue to build out. I think we have, 100 more? We'll continue building them out little by little. And the big thing with her, guys, is you gain haste. So building out the signature item, we'll definitely build her out. Just going to take a little bit of time because we're building both Wilders together. Yeah, Fane is really good CC, but you do have to have him built. The plus 60 engraving on Fane is one of the big ones right here, guys. The enemy struck is terrified for 4 seconds. Overall, Greyworn have really, really strong crowd control. Even looking at Hodgkin, guys, Hodgkin has really good crowd control with his ultimate ability. There's so many heroes and so many factions that absolutely have some very, very strong crowd control. Skipping Awakened Solas, Baden is my priority because I have no use for Solas. The only thing, Los Grandes, is the other game modes. That's really the big part where I see Awakened Solas being utilized and where I see myself kind of falling short. So I've been borrowing Solas, and I borrow Solas, and I borrow, of course, I didn't build Taylene either. And then I'll do the same with the Awakened version of Baden. Starting next week, I'll borrow him once we have him built. Once, a lot of players, even a lot of the bigger players, have him built out. Not as much as I would think. As you can see, guys, not adding a bunch of stars on there, but a lot of players do have copies of him, but not quite built out as high again as I thought. I'll see if we can get a copy. I'm not sure if Hopu's on. Sometimes Hopu will jump on the chat as well. Yeah, she's pretty good. Nevanthi's pretty good. We're seeing her show up in a couple of places. We're also seeing her in the All Grez comp because she provides a very big boost for Grez. She does have a pretty solid in there for Grez. I know those two, and when I look at them, they're pretty close. It's a pretty close match to their skills, abilities, their builds, everything. So I do have to get some more gear, which I don't even know how much I have here. But we'll build her up. We'll get her all to her tier 4. I don't really worry about gear. I'll be honest, guys. I don't even know how many tier stones I got. And I haven't seen those like tier 3 chests yet. It's all been kind of random. But I'll build them all out to tier 4 eventually when I have time or when I hop in here and get the stones. There we go. 2 tier 4s. We have another tier 3. I'm out of tier 4 stones. And this one, I'm sure we usually got just more. Swap this with Pippa. We'll build her out little by little. Yeah, I definitely needed the Awakened version of Solas. Again, I feel like there's a lot of game modes that I've just literally been missing her. That she hasn't been here. That I definitely needed. Yeah, Fane, definitely good crowd control. Otis is used in Rift. Often use him maybe one support. Gives you a significant energy boost and gets you to 3-team battle. Yeah, I love the Awakened version of Brutus. Since I built him, guys, out of all the Awakened heroes, I have used Brutus more than anybody. Out of all the ones I have, he has been the one that I've used more than anyone else, more than I've used the Awakened version of Thane. I've used him in a ton of game modes. Who do you use as a carry for the Temporal Rift? Brutus. I use Brutus and I use Thane. I run the Temporal Rift with Brutus, or I run it with Warrior, Ranger, Support. I don't use Tank, I don't use Mage. Works really, really well. I'm going to do a Temporal Rift video a little bit later tonight. I'll have it come out tomorrow. So is it worth just getting one copy of Awakened Baden or continue? I would continue with Solas. Honestly, the one copy of the Awakened Baden is not really going to do much. Tips on stacking cards, one daily from store with 500 diamonds. Is it adding the monthly deluxe card? Light Guardian, yes. So the monthly deluxe card, a lot of players ask about this as well. The monthly deluxe card gives you one card every single day, which means instead of getting 30 from the store, you're now getting 60 a month. So literally, or excuse me, you're now getting 60 a month because you're getting 30 from the store, you're getting 30 from here for the price of $15. Plus you're getting red chests, guys. So when you're looking at building the heroes, either getting baits or red chests. In addition, you're getting cores. So now you're getting cores, now you're getting red chests, now you're getting the awakened cards or the time emblems. All three of those are going to be required to build and develop these awakened heroes. So for $15, guys, I know it does take 30 days to get the free loot, but you're getting 30 cards. 30 cards times 500 diamonds each is a lot of diamonds that you're saving in there. Then getting the red chest and also the cores makes a big difference. It is really a big, big difference. Call me insane, but after Mishka plus 30, I'm building Taili. Taili is really strong. Now, Taili is another hero, guys, that takes a very, very high investment. So having her investment to get this immunity. 10 right here, this is big damage. This is really big damage, but I think it might be the furniture. The furniture gives her the immunity right here. 9 of 9 furniture. I have heard of players, chapter 46, 47, 48, that can use her almost by herself. She'll put on enough damage if you have her built out to burn down high level deficiency targets. Yep, that's what I thought, Geeky. It is her 9 furniture that gives her the immunity, but it is the engraving that amplifies the damage she does. What's going on, Kern? Live, hello, what is going on? Yeah, I feel like she's underrated. She'll do well. In worst case scenario, if you build her out, you can use her every single time that you go into the Mauler Tower. Absolutely. One Warden gives you 10 Stargazer cards. I think it's worth getting him for slightly cheaper. Oh, the one copy of the Awakened version of Baden. Depends how much I have to use to get him. So within the advanced ship, guys, to get the one copy, that's yeah. What it gives is it? I think it's worth getting him for slightly cheaper. It depends, Dave, because if I'm summoning for the Awakened version of Baden and it costs me 40 cards, 50 cards, 60 cards, absolutely not worth it to get 10 Stargazer cards. If I pulled them randomly out of a summon, absolutely, I think it would be more than well worth it. But again, if I'm spending time cards to get him, I don't think it's worth it at all. I would not at all. Again, utilize the cards just to get some Stargazer cards because you could have some bad RNG luck. Recommended for Temporal Rift carry for free to play who really can't build Awakened heroes. Honestly, there's a bunch. Yeah, tank mage support. It's super dependent, Will, on who you have. Again, when it comes to comps, when it comes to even Temporal Rift comps, it's super dependent on who you have within formations. Because if I say, okay, mage spec, build Scarlet, run Scarlet in the Temporal Rift, which she does incredibly well, then you say, oh, well, I don't have Scarlet. Okay, well, then you go back to essentially going to a bunch of other teams, which going down the long list of what you have is a little bit more different. What's going on, Kern? Glad I joined, especially when you're getting to that point. A majority of the meta heroes should already be built. A lot of the engraved heroes at that point should be pretty much engraved, at least the core ones. I forgot about Damon, his E60. Yeah, Damon is pretty strong. Guys, Damon is a hero that we still use in formations today. I haven't built out the engraving on him, but he is still one that we use in formations, and we also do see him in Cursed Realm. We still do see him in the Cursed Realm as well. I did 5 pulls with the emblems, and I from the Greyborn Tower and didn't get a single copy of Ascended Baden. Yeah, that's the thing. Is putting a bunch of emblems or just literally burning a bunch of emblems to try to get one copy of the Awakened version of Baden, I wouldn't recommend. I would absolutely recommend getting one single copy of the Awakened version of Solas. She is, again, she's a game changer, guys. She is such a cool hero to build. One copy will work. If you want her to do damage, you have to build her up quite a bit more. Awakened Baden can scale high on crowd control teams, which make him best in slot in the Cursed Realm. Yeah, the thing is, Hills, like even now, he is the best in slot for the team. But is he doing that much more damage than the other team that he kind of replaced? Not really. For a majority of players, they're not going to build the Awakened version of Baden, and especially building him out like fully maxed built out is going to take a little bit of time for a lot of it, and that's it. It's replaceable. That's kind of it. So even looking at, again, the Cursed Realm, he did, I believe, around 8 billion damage. But if you look at other teams that do not have him, it's a pretty similar score, just spread more along the team. Which again, you're kind of replacing one for one. I wonder if we even go down here, we can see, or even get to some of these lower levels where they might not have. I'm probably going to follow just a bunch of players. Oh, they already have Baden. You guys, even the top 130 just literally runs Baden, but look at the difference there. Running with Kren instead of Yennefer. But again, you got to have him built out, guys. You have to put a truckload of money and resources into building them out. Used all my cards to try and get another copy of Awakened Thane. Yeah, guys, Awakened Thane does well. But again, 100 cards and 1 Baden. Yes, that was my bane when it came to building the Awakened version of Thane, guys. He was just a nightmare. We used 700 plus cards just to get him to Ascended. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, and again, guys, there's going to be a place for all of them. The Awakened heroes, because of their build, because of their skill set, there's going to be teams that are best in slot. I'm sure he's going to be used even within like the Treasure Scramble. We're at a 96% win rate, so we're doing pretty good so far with my first 2 hours. This is a strong team, guys, and there is Brutus, the Awakened version of Brutus. They have yet to be defeated. This is why I built Brutus. You can see right there, guys, there's Thane, there's Brutus. Brutus is a monster, guys. Brutus is even very, very hard to deal with in these formations, even PvP. He's tough to deal with depending on who you're fighting and how well they have them built. But Brutus is pretty tough. But like I said, overall leaderboards, guys, players are probably going to have, let me see, Peculiar. I think that's Trisha. I think that's Trisha. Trisha's in chat. What's going on, Trisha? I'll follow you. But like I was saying, a lot of players, nobody over there. But again, I think he's going to be in PvP. He's going to have to fit into a very specific team, I would say. But we'll have to see. I now have conquered chapter 32. Very nice, Raphael. Chapter 32 goes down. When you start getting further in, guys, the new, as you push further, level deficiencies get high. What is the best 309 must-have from the new heroes? Depends how far you're talking to kind of the must-have for a newer hero. Depends how new you talk. I mean, like, Sonya does really well. Sonya is a hero, a relatively new hero, does really well being built out in a lot of formations. Even looking in here, absolutely, guys, Anasta is one you have to build. She, again, is used in a ton of different places. Wilders, I don't think you need the plus 30 in here. It can definitely help. Furniture, of course, can help quite a bit. Again, just with the healing ability, if you want higher healing, higher stats. Even looking here, guys, Kayleen is super strong too, guys. 309 and Kayleen, all of them are pretty good. Lilith has gotten to the point that most of the newer heroes they're putting out, like Guardian, have to be built. And I think they finally got to the point where they've made the engraving for heroes, even looking at Nevi, they made the 60 engraving on her super, super strong for anyone who summons, like Baden and Grez. But you have to engrave her to a 60. So they absolutely, they have absolutely built these heroes to be built and for people to put money in to engrave them. Absolutely. She is very, very strong built out. Kayleen is very strong built out. Again, we're very close to having her built, but the engraving on her for this Terrify, the plus 30 engraving, this doubles the amount of crowd control you get, which again is a game changer if you're running mage. Start putting stuff behind her. She works absolutely incredible. How much money did we put into AFK Arena? Being VIP 15, I would say it's probably $10,000 or $12,000, which is absolutely insane over the past 3+ years. Yeah, definitely getting there for the VIP level. And I think I get a lot of free resources out of here as well from the Temple Rift. There we go, guys. We got 4,800 out of there, which is awesome. We also get the free key reset of 4,800, which means we're going to be able to join a lot more levels or level up a lot more within the beacon, getting 4,000 essence out of there, which is awesome. Yeah, Brutus, JMG, definitely Brutus is the one. Luckily, only wasted 400 Temple of Times, 400 Stargazer cards for 5-star Awakened Baden. Yeah, and that's what a lot of players are saying is he's not super effective. Again, he's going to have his game modes, guys. Curse Realm, things like that. Definitely going to have a lot of places. Nevi, I got to build up a little bit more, put some more furniture on her. Going to have to get some more red chests so we can just continue building her out since we already have Solas built out. But adding 2 very strong healers right here is cool to see. That's very, very cool to see. And then Joan, of course, finally goes to her 9 of 9 with the furniture that we summoned. Boom. Getting there, guys. We are getting there. We're making a lot of progression every single time. Priorities when leveling up the beacons. The big thing with the beacons, guys, is the classes. So the classes are really the big thing. If you look here, I do support, I do ranger, I do warrior. I started off in tank, but we swapped. Even these, you can put 1 in these because they're relatively cheap. Most of them do pretty well depending what you're putting it into. But even getting down here, guys, I use all of my crystalline cores for everything that requires them. The rest of it, I really don't put in much or anything into it other than just the regular driving, the regular stats. Big thing is, guys, when these hit 100, it starts taking out cores, so it limits how many essence you use because you can utilize your other resources. Let me see if I can get there. We're going to be short. Even though we're at 91 already, we'll go for warrior. Yeah, so the rest of them, again, I don't put any in there. We just continue to level up the class specifics. That's where we're going. I'm only 6 Wandering Blue and Peaks of Time adventures behind. Yeah, Raphael, that's loot. That is an incredible amount of loot in there when you're going through. HPC. Kayleen versus Nevanthi. It's kind of tough. The thing with Kayleen, guys, is you have to build her out. Again, similar to the damage dealers, you have to build her out. Nevanthi will work even if you don't have her built out. The healing aspect will still work. The skills, the skills and abilities will still work with her without being completely built out, even being a lower level. Kayleen will not. Kayleen will not at that point. You're going to have to build out Kayleen fully to get the crowd control and also get the damage. Again, if you're not building her out, you're going to be missing a lot of the damage in there. No, 400 Temple of Time cards for an Awakened hero. That is really, really good to build them out. The best I spent was I think 500. I think 500 for the Awakened version of Baden was the best that I did. Took about 570 for Brutus, and then it took 700 plus for Thane. It took an incredible amount. As of right now, can you see Awakened Baden being more relevant than... No, I don't, Kai. I see the Awakened version of Brutus being more relevant than all of them. That's what we kind of covered. Definitely think that the relevance is still... We know the Awakened Brutus is here to stay, guys. We know he works incredibly well as he is. Again, I would build out Brutus. Brutus would be my choice. But all right, guys, so we're just about done with the stream. Let me hop over. I just remembered we were going to do our giveaway. I absolutely love doing the giveaway. Every time that we do the stream, I try to do one membership giveaway every single time. So let me hop in here and do the membership gift. Now, the membership gifts go to one single random player. So I can't choose who it's going to, guys. So it is a random player within the live stream. So go ahead, we'll pick that up, and it'll go through in just a minute. There we go. There is our gifting a membership. I maxed out my hero, 5-star, 9 furniture engraved to the max. Am I doomed? Nope. Mahira will still work. So the big thing with Mahira, guys, is Mahira will work regardless of how well you have her built, because the mesmerize effect. The mesmerize effect, if you have her just built out with a signature item, she'll work. If you build her out any further, she will work. And congratulations to Raphael. He is our winner for today. Thank you very, very much for the stream, guys. I love chatting with you guys. I love talking to you guys. I think something went on again with the stream and with the notifications and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs as of lately, but might have to find something else. Making a temporal team that features Nevi. So far, it is Nevi, Kayleen, Awakened Solas, Mishka. Well, if you have Kayleen, you have the damage in there. Anyone for crowd control, honestly. If you're running in there, anyone that's going to allow Kayleen to do more damage, allow Kayleen, give Kayleen time essentially to scale, to build. Again, if you put any crowd control in there, and let me see, what are you running? So you have Kayleen, you have Solas. You're running tank as well. Put in a solid tank. I mean, put in a solid tank that is literally just going to buy time. I know Tresnar does well, but any of these tanks, even if you put in someone like Arthur, that is going to have kind of a mitigation factor in there, or being able to amp up Kayleen and her damage factor in there, can work. It'll definitely work. Oh, thank you. Aplox. Eplox. So very, very cool. And there we go, guys. Notification came. It just came a little bit late. What do you think of this team, PvP or PvE? Let me know, Hedgehog. And there we go, guys. And there's the member notification. Again, congratulations, Raphael. Ajiz, Baden, Neville. Awaken, or Athalia and Awakened Solas. So it would work. It would work really well, Hedgehog. The thing is, I've seen a lot of PvP teams, and for Baden to work, you're going to have massive support in there. You're probably going to have to throw in some crowd control. So even though the Awakened version of Solas and Nevi will keep them up, you have Athalia in there, a little bit of crowd control. Baden, I would put, even throwing in that combination, a hero like Pharrell. Putting a Pharrell in there would work. Putting a Hodgkin in there would work incredibly well. Even thinking what Shady said, putting a Hodgkin in there if you're running tank would work really well, just for not only the Graveborn bonus, but guys, do not underestimate by any means Hodgkin's buffs right here. This works incredibly well. And then he also does bring crowd control. That's the other big one. And of course, he has retaliation. Hodgkin in the Temporal Rift works incredibly well. It does work absolutely incredibly well. Grez, OG Baden, Nevi. Yeah, the original Baden works, but it has to be fully built out. So if you're running Nevi and the Awakened version of Solas, it'll work. With Athalia, it'll work with the crowd control. But again, a formation, you could probably put like a Pharrell in there and it would work incredibly well. And I think it would work for PvP. PvE, when you start getting level deficiencies, it's very tough. But PvP, it could probably work, but you're going to find easy counters for it. That you could definitely find some easy counters. Now, running Grez with Nevanthi works incredibly well. They've been testing this a lot within the campaign. She works incredibly well together with Grez, and we've seen the formation actually working very, very well with Alna Grez. So a lot of players are running Alna Grez. And again, kind of the same combination that we've seen before, but dropping out like a Silas in there and dropping in, let's say, like a Pharrell, and then putting her in essentially in place of Silas, because she, of course, is going to give a massive boost. If you have her plus 60 engraving, she is going to give a massive, massive boost to Grez, which of course is just going to amplify Grez's damage. Now, a lot of players are dropping out Grez or Whales and putting in the Awakened version of Baden. But essentially, like I said before, you're replacing one hero in a formation with another hero in a formation. Again, is it going to make a huge, huge difference? No. Do I think the original version of Baden would work in a formation? Probably not. He's going to get crushed when it comes into a formation, even with the ads. You guys, even there, when you start getting into high level deficiencies, even here we're what, 200 levels plus. Even all Grez just gets rocked, guys. You might find a niche formation that it works, but overall, the original version of Baden dies too quick. He doesn't have the survivability. He just gets run over. Is Ascended Baden good with Warwick? Would be. Definitely would be, because of Warwick's debuff. So as long as you're in a formation where you can keep them alive, yes, Warwick's Bonebreaker ability would give a pretty solid debuff for the Awakened version of Baden. And this is why players use them. The Bonebreaker ability is the reason this damage reduction, which again, running in formations like the Cursed Realm would probably work very well, because again, of the minute 30, because Baden's also got to scale with the clone, keeping the clone up, the crowd control, all of that. Once you get him scaled, he's pretty tough to kill, but early, it seems like he dies pretty quick. Is Ein still good in campaign? I'm still playing catch up on what's good in today's meta. Cody, I do use Eins within some comps. You'll get to a point where you need to buff him up. So what I mean by that is you're either going to be running him with Ezio that can kind of do the insta kills, or you're going to be running Eins. You're actually going to be running Eins with like Mortis to again allow you to really insta kill some of the targets, which is, he gets to a point where he's not doing enough damage. So Eins does get to a point where he's not putting enough damage, even if you have him maxed out, even if you have him, completely built out. There's a point where level deficiencies, he doesn't do enough damage to take out the teams. And this one, of course, guys, Thorin Cheese, the retaliation ability, if Lucretia doesn't die or Lucretia doesn't kill everybody. I still love Lucretia, guys. Look at this. Then, of course, we're going to have to go back because we have Zolrath in here. This is why I don't run Lucretia by herself or with other teams like this. I don't know why they run, Lucretia in there. Even Awakened Thane in there. Zolrath and again, Lucretia in there. Seems like most of them, they're just going to die. But I'm not going to mess around the campaign right now. So, all right, guys. So that'll do it for tonight's stream. What is the best source of the 2 forthcoming dimensional heroes? Either you buy them or you're going to go ahead and you're going to have to either purchase them or you're going to have to use resources for them. Other than that, there's not really any other way to the best sources of them. And what's going on, Shady? We got another Hippo supporter, guys. Very, very cool. Thank you for supporting the channel. But again, guys, that'll do it for tonight's stream. Thank you guys for joining me and supporting the channel. I'm so stoked that we made the decision. It is the Awakened version of Solas, guys, that we are going to be building. Get a little bit more furniture on her. I know I need some more copies. 2 more copies, and she will be ascended already. Then we're going to hit up the Stargazer. We have a lot of cards. We have a lot of diamonds in here to continue this progression, guys. We'll get some copies. We'll get her up to the engraving portion. Very cool to see. So again, guys, all right, that'll do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to go get some sleep, guys. It is just past 11 o'clock here. So again, I wanted to hop on. I wanted to chat with you guys, do a couple summons in here. We had some really, really good summons. We got Nevi all the way up to Ascended. Solas is coming very soon, which is very cool to see. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Have a good night. And as always, thank you guys for watching.